If you're watching this right now, it's no coincidence. The universe has guided you here because there's something deeply important you need to hear, something that's been whispered to the winds of destiny, carried on the wings of angels who've been watching over your journey. Before we go any further, I want you to take a deep breath. Let yourself truly be present in this moment, because what I'm about to share with you isn't just a message. It's a divine revelation about someone in your life who's standing at the edge of something monumental, someone who's gathering every ounce of courage they possess to ask you a question that will shift the entire landscape of your reality. And if this message resonates with the deepest part of your soul, if you feel that familiar flutter in your chest that tells you this is meant for you, then make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because the universe has so much more to reveal to you in the days to come, and you won't want to miss what's being prepared for your path. There's someone in your orbit right now, someone whose energy you've been feeling even when they're not physically present. Perhaps you've noticed their name appearing more frequently. Maybe you've caught yourself thinking about them at random moments throughout your day, or you've experienced those unmistakable sensations of being watched, being thought about, being held in someone's consciousness even from a distance. The divine realm wants you to know that these aren't random occurrences. These aren't coincidences born from your imagination running wild. These are spiritual breadcrumbs, celestial confirmations that someone is carrying you in their heart with an intensity that's creating ripples across the energetic field that connects you both. This person has been engaged in an internal battle, wrestling with fears and doubts, measuring their words 1,000 times over, rehearsing conversations in the quiet hours of night when sleep eludes them because their mind is consumed with thoughts of you. The angels surrounding you right now want you to understand something profound about the nature of courage and vulnerability. True courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to move forward despite the trembling hands and the racing heart. And this person, the one the universe is speaking to you about today, they've been building this courage brick by brick, prayer by prayer, sign by sign. They've been asking the heavens for confirmation, for green lights, for reassurance that what they're about to do is right, that the timing is divinely orchestrated, that you'll receive their question with the openness and grace that your beautiful soul is known for. The spiritual realm has been sending them encouragement through repeated numbers, through songs that play at just the right moment, through unexpected encounters that remind them of you, through dreams that feel more real than waking life, through that persistent inner knowing that some things are simply meant to be spoken into existence no matter how terrifying it feels. What makes this particular question so significant, so transformative, is that it comes from a place of absolute authenticity. This isn't a casual inquiry born from boredom or momentary impulse. This question has been forged in the fires of deep contemplation, in the crucible of genuine emotion, in the sacred space where the soul recognizes what it truly wants and decides it's finally time to be honest about it. The divine orchestrators of your life story, those invisible hands that have been guiding you through every twist and turn of your journey. They've been preparing both of you for this moment. They've been aligning circumstances, clearing obstacles, healing old wounds, and opening hearts so that when this question finally emerges into the physical realm, it lands in fertile soil, in a space where truth can be honored and authentic connection can flourish. You might be wondering right now who this person is, and the beautiful mystery is that your soul already knows. There's a knowing that exists beyond the limitations of the logical mind, a recognition that lives in a realm of intuition and spiritual awareness. As I continue sharing this message, you'll feel certain energies shifting, certain memories surfacing, certain truths becoming crystalline in their clarity. The person the universe is speaking about may be someone from your past who never fully left your heart, someone whose chapter you thought had closed, but whose story with you was actually just pausing, waiting for both of you to grow into the versions of yourselves that could truly appreciate what you have together. Or perhaps this is someone currently in your life, someone you interact with regularly but have maintained certain boundaries with, certain unspoken agreements that have kept the full depth of feeling safely contained, safely unexpressed, until now. The divine timing of this moment is absolutely perfect, even if your human mind might question it, even if circumstances seem complicated or uncertain. The universe doesn't operate on the same timeline as our earthly expectations. What we perceive as delays are often periods of necessary preparation, seasons of growth that ensure we're truly ready for what's coming. And both you and this other soul have been moving through your individual preparation periods, learning lessons that needed to be learned, releasing patterns that needed to be released, healing parts of yourself that needed to be healed. so that when this question arrives, you can both receive it and respond to it from your highest selves, from the most authentic and evolved versions of who you are. The courage this person is gathering isn't just about overcoming fear of rejection, though that's certainly part of it. It's about being willing to disrupt the current equilibrium, to introduce change into a dynamic that might feel safe in its predictability, to risk altering a relationship in ways that can't be undone once certain words are spoken. There's a profound vulnerability in asking a question that reveals the true contents of your heart, that lays bare your desires and hopes and dreams about a shared future. This person understands that once they speak their truth, there's no taking it back, no pretending they didn't mean it, no returning to the comfortable ambiguity that might have characterized your connection up until now. And yet, despite all these understandable fears, they're choosing courage. They're choosing honesty. They're choosing to honor what their soul is telling them, even if their mind is presenting countless reasons to stay silent. The angels want you to prepare your heart for this incoming question, not with anxiety or pressure, but with gentle awareness and openness. They want you to know that you're being given the gift of someone's authentic truth, and that gift deserves to be received with respect and consideration, regardless of what your answer might be. The universe isn't dictating what your response should be. That remains your sovereign choice. You're free while operating in full expression. But what the divine realm is asking of you is to meet this person's courage with your own, to honor their vulnerability with honesty, to recognize the sacred nature of what's happening here, a moment where two souls are being given the opportunity to explore what might be possible between them, when truth replaces assumption and clarity replaces uncertainty. There's something else the spiritual guides surrounding you want you to understand about this approaching question. It's arriving now because you're finally ready for it. If this moment had come earlier, if this question had been asked during a different season of your life, it might not have landed the same way, might not have been met with the same receptivity. But you've been on your own journey of transformation, your own path of healing and growth and self-discovery. You've been learning to trust yourself more deeply, to honor your own needs and boundaries, to recognize your worth, to understand what you truly want from your connections and relationships. All of this internal work you've been doing, even when it felt difficult or lonely or endless, it's been preparing you for moments exactly like this one, moments where life presents you with opportunities that require you to know yourself well enough to make choices that align with your authentic truth. The question that's coming your way, the one that will change everything, it's not going to be small or superficial. This isn't about casual plans or minor decisions. This is a question that touches the core of what connection and commitment and shared future mean. It might be about taking your relationship to a deeper level of intimacy and commitment. It might be about exploring feelings that have been present but unacknowledged. It might be about choosing each other in a way you haven't before. It might be about building something together that currently only exists as potential. Whatever the specific words turn out to be, the essence of this question is about possibility, about invitation, about one soul asking another if they're willing to walk a path together that leads somewhere meaningful, somewhere transformative, somewhere that requires both courage and trust. The universe wants you to know that however you choose to respond to this question, you're supported, you're guided, you're loved unconditionally by the divine forces that have been with you since before you took your first breath in this lifetime. Your answer doesn't need to be immediate, doesn't need to be rushed. If you need time to feel into what's true for you, to listen to your own inner wisdom, to consult with your own heart and higher self, that's not only acceptable but wise. Authentic connection isn't built on pressure or urgency manufactured from fear. It's built on truth and alignment, and both people being genuinely ready to say yes to what's being offered. And if your truth is that this isn't the right path for you, that your connection with this person is meant to take a different form than what their question suggests, that too is sacred. That too deserves to be honored. Because sometimes the deepest respect we can show someone is being honest about what we can and cannot give them. But here's what the angels are really excited about. What they want you to feel into as you continue listening to this message. There's a strong energetic indication that this question, when it comes, is going to resonate with something you've been feeling too, something you might not have fully acknowledged or allowed yourself to hope for. The spiritual realm doesn't usually orchestrate these moments of vulnerability and truth unless both souls involved are in some way aligned, in some way ready, in some way already moving in a similar direction, even if they haven't been able to articulate it to each other yet. So while it might feel like this question is coming at you from outside, from this other person's courage and initiative, there's actually a deeper truth at play, which is that on a soul level, you've both been calling this moment into existence. You've both been asking the universe to create conditions where honesty can emerge and authentic connection can deepen. The person who's gathering courage to ask you this life-changing question, they've been seeing signs everywhere encouraging them forward. They've been receiving their own divine messages, their own angelic guidance, their own spiritual confirmations that speaking their truth is the right thing to do, that you're someone worth taking a risk for, that what exists between you is potential that deserves to be explored rather than left forever in a realm of what if and maybe someday. They've probably been journaling about you, praying about the situation, meditating on what feels right, talking to trusted friends who've been watching this unfold, and encouraging them to be brave. They've been doing their own internal work to be ready for this conversation, to be clear about what they're really asking for, to be prepared for whatever response you might offer with grace and maturity. And here's something beautiful that the divine wants you to recognize in this moment. The fact that this person is taking their time to gather courage, to prepare themselves emotionally and spiritually, to make sure they're asking from a centered and authentic place. This actually speaks volumes about how much they value you and what you share. If you were just a passing interest or a casual connection, they wouldn't be going through this level of internal process. The weight they're giving to this question, the care they're taking with their approach, the courage they're having to summon, all of this is evidence of how deeply you matter to them, how significant your presence in their life has become, how much they genuinely want to honor what could be possible between you. The universe is also showing me that there have been near misses already, moments when this person almost asked their question, but something stopped them. Maybe the setting didn't feel right. Maybe they lost their nerve at the last second. Maybe an interruption occurred just as they were about to speak. Maybe they convinced themselves it wasn't the right time yet. But each of these near misses has been part of the divine orchestration too, because the question needed to be asked when both of you are truly ready, when the energetic conditions are perfectly aligned, when the moment itself has been blessed and sanctified by the spiritual forces that govern timing and destiny. And that perfect moment is approaching now. It's already in motion. It's already making its way toward you to the invisible channels that connect all things. If you're feeling this message deeply, if something inside you is recognizing the truth of what's being shared, I want you to do something for me right now. Take a moment and write in the comments, "I'm ready for truth." Don't overthink it. Just let your fingers express what your soul is feeling. This simple act of putting words into form, of acknowledging your readiness to receive authenticity and honest communication, this sends a powerful signal out into the universe that you're open, that you're receptive, that you're prepared to meet life's offerings with grace and courage of your own. And as you write those words, notice how your energy shifts. Notice the subtle excitement mixed with nervousness. Notice how your heart already knows more than your mind has fully admitted. The divine guides want you to understand something important about questions that change everything. They don't actually change who you are at your core. They don't alter your fundamental nature or values or truth. What they change is a trajectory, the path, the unfolding story of how your life moves forward from this point. They open doors that were previously closed. They create possibilities that didn't exist before. They invite you to step into versions of your future that require you to be brave and authentic and true to what your heart genuinely wants. And yes, this can feel destabilizing. It can shake up your sense of certainty and control. It can introduce variables into your life that make things feel less predictable. But this is often exactly what the soul needs to truly grow and expand and experience the fullness of what being human offers. The person preparing to ask you this question, they're not just thinking about the words they'll use. They're also preparing themselves energetically for whatever unfolds after. They're making peace with the fact that they can't control your response, that they're essentially placing their vulnerability in your hands and trusting that you'll handle it with care. This level of surrender, this willingness to be that emotionally exposed, it's one of the most spiritually advanced practices any human can engage in. It requires profound trust, not just in you, but in the universe itself. Trust that whatever happens is somehow part of a larger plan, part of divine unfolding that's ultimately serving everyone's highest good, even when the immediate outcome might not match personal preferences or expectations. What the angels want you to feel into right now is the sacredness of being chosen as someone's important person, as someone whose answer matters enough to be worth all this internal struggle and courage gathering. In a world where so many connections remain surface level, where so many people play it safe and keep their hearts protected behind layers of casual detachment, being the person someone wants to be vulnerable with, being the one whose opinion and feeling and response carries weight, this is actually a profound compliment, a deep form of recognition. It means this person has witnessed who you are, has experienced your energy and presence, and has decided that you're someone worth risking discomfort for, someone worth being honest with, someone they want to share deeper truth with, even if that truth might not be met exactly the way they hope. The universe is also revealing that this question, when it arrives, is going to require something of you beyond just a yes or no answer. It's going to invite you to be equally authentic in return, to match their vulnerability with your own, to engage in a kind of honest communication that builds real intimacy rather than settling for the comfortable illusions that often characterize human relationships. This might mean examining your own feelings with more honesty than you have before, admitting things to yourself about what you want and what you fear, getting clear about where this person actually fits in your life and heart and future vision. The spiritual realm is asking you to do your own internal work around this situation, to be as truthful with yourself as this other person is preparing to be truthful with you. There's a particular energy around timing that's coming through very strongly right now. The question that will change everything isn't arriving at a random moment. It's arriving precisely when both of you have reached a point of readiness that makes meaningful forward movement possible. You've both been through experiences recently that have taught you important lessons about yourself, about relationships, about what truly matters. You've both been clearing away old patterns and outdated beliefs that would have interfered with your ability to see the situation clearly and respond to it authentically. The divine choreographers of your lives have been working behind the scenes to ensure that when this moment comes, you're both spiritually, emotionally, and energetically prepared to make the most of it. The angels surrounding you want you to release any anxiety about being caught off guard or not knowing what to say when this question comes. Your soul will know how to respond. Your truth will rise to the surface naturally when the moment arrives, and the right words will come through you without forcing or overthinking. This is one of the beautiful mysteries of authentic connection. When two people meet each other in genuine vulnerability, there's a kind of grace that descends, a divine assistance that helps the conversation flow in ways that serve everyone's highest good. Trust that when the time comes, you'll be guided, you'll be supported, you'll have access to exactly the wisdom and clarity you need to navigate the situation with integrity and love. There's also something the divine wants you to know about life-changing questions in general. They're rare. Most of what we experience day to day exists in the realm of routine and predictability, small decisions and comfortable patterns. But every so often, life presents us with these pivotal moments, these crossroads where one choice leads toward a fundamentally different future than another choice. These moments are gifts, even when they feel overwhelming or scary, because they're opportunities for our lives to evolve, to expand, to move beyond the limitations of what we've known and into the territory of what might be possible. The person who's about to ask you their question, they're essentially offering you one of these rare opportunities, an invitation to step through a doorway into a different version of your life story. What happens after a question is asked, regardless of your answer, something profound shifts in the relationship and in both of your lives. Even if your response is that you need time or that you're not sure, or even that this isn't what you want, the act of question being asked still changes the dynamic, still brings truth into the light, still creates clarity where there was ambiguity. And clarity, even when it leads to uncomfortable realizations, is always a gift. It allows everyone involved to make informed choices, to move forward with eyes open, to stop living in the exhausting uncertainty of unspoken feelings and unasked questions. This is part of why the universe supports these moments of truth-telling so strongly. They serve the evolution of everyone involved by replacing assumption with knowledge and fantasy with reality. The spiritual guides are showing me that after this question is asked and answered, there's going to be a period of integration, a time when both of you process what was said and what it means and where you go from here. This integration period is just as important as the initial conversation itself. It's when the mental understanding catches up with the emotional experience, when the implications become clear, when practical considerations come into play alongside feelings and desires. The angels want you to be patient with yourself during this integration period, to give yourself permission to feel whatever arises without judgment, to talk to trusted loved ones or spiritual advisors if you need outside perspective, to journal or meditate or pray your way through complexities that life-changing questions naturally bring with them. And here's something really beautiful that the divine wants you to understand. No matter what unfolds with a specific situation and the specific question, you're being called upward into a new level of authentic living. The universe is using this experience to teach you something crucial about honoring truth, about courageous communication, about showing up fully in your relationships instead of playing small or hiding behind protective walls. These lessons will serve you far beyond this one conversation, far beyond this one connection. They're part of your soul's curriculum right now, part of what you're here to learn and embody during this lifetime. So even as you focus on the immediate situation with this person who's gathering courage to speak their truth, remember that there's a larger purpose at play, a deeper teaching being offered about what it means to live with an open heart. The person approaching you with their question, they're also walking a spiritual path of growth through this experience. Their willingness to be vulnerable, to risk rejection, to choose authenticity over comfort. This is evolving them, teaching them, strengthening their spiritual core. Whether you say yes or no, whether you move forward together in the way they hope or take a different path, they're learning something essential about themselves and about how to show up honestly in life. And you have the opportunity to support that learning through how you receive their question, through the respect and care you show in your response, through your own willingness to meet vulnerability with compassion, even if you can't give them the answer they most want to hear. The universe wants you to know that there's no wrong answer to the question that's coming. There's only your truth, and your truth is always right for you, always valid, always worthy of being honored. The divine realm isn't invested in a specific outcome here. It's invested in both of you being authentic, being honest, being willing to communicate from the heart instead of from fear or obligation or what you think you should feel. Your job isn't to manage this other person's emotions or protect them from disappointment. Your job is simply to be truthful about what lives in your own heart, to speak from your center, to trust that everyone involved can handle reality better than they can handle pretense or avoidance. If this message is speaking to your soul, if you're recognizing the truth of what's being shared here, then the universe has one more thing it wants you to do. When this question arrives, when this person finally gathers all their courage and speaks the words that will change everything, receive them with presence. Put down your phone. Turn off distractions. Look them in the eyes if you're together in person. Listen with your full attention if the question comes through other means. Give them the gift of being truly seen and heard in their moment of vulnerability. This kind of presence is one of the greatest expressions of love and respect we can offer another human being, and it honors not just them, but the sacredness of what's happening, the divine orchestration that's been building toward this moment. The angels are gathering around you even now as you listen to these words, preparing the way energetically for what's coming. They're clearing interference, removing obstacles, blessing the path forward regardless of which direction that path takes. They're filling both you and this other person with courage and clarity and grace. They're whispering encouragement, reminding you both that you're loved beyond measure, that you're supported through every choice and every outcome, that there's no way to get this wrong as long as you're being true to yourselves. Can you feel their presence? Can you sense the divine support that's surrounding this entire situation? Take a moment right now and open yourself to receiving that angelic guidance, that heavenly reassurance that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. The question that will change everything. It's not just changing the external circumstances of your life. It's also changing something internal. It's inviting you to examine what you really want, to get honest about your fears and hopes, to make conscious choices instead of letting life just happen to you. This is a deeper gift being offered here, the opportunity to be an active participant in your own story, to recognize that you have agency and choice and the power to shape your future through the decisions you make in pivotal moments like this one. The universe is essentially saying, here's a door, here's an opportunity, here's a possibility. What do you want to do with it? And your answer, whatever it is, will set certain energies in motion, will open certain pathways while closing others, will declare something to the universe about who you are and what matters to you. As we move toward the close of this message, the divine wants to leave you with a final truth. Love in all its forms requires courage. Whether it's romantic love or deep friendship or spiritual connection or any other flavor of genuine intimacy, it requires all involved to be willing to remove their masks, to stop performing, to show up in their authentic, messy, beautiful human complexity. The person who's about to ask you their life-changing question. They're choosing this courage. And now you're being invited to choose it too, to meet their honesty with your own, to engage in a kind of real communication that transforms connection from surface level to soul deep. This is sacred work, this willingness to be vulnerable and authentic with each other. And the angels are celebrating both of you for being brave enough to walk this path. The question is coming soon, perhaps sooner than you might expect. Pay attention to shifts in energy when you're with this person. Notice if they seem nervous or if they create opportunities for deeper conversation. Watch for the moment when they take a deep breath and begin to speak words that feel more weighted than usual. And when it happens, remember everything you've heard here today. Remember that you're supported, that you're guided, that your truth is valid whatever it is, that honesty serves everyone better than polite avoidance, that this moment is a gift regardless of where it leads, that courage recognizes and honors courage, that love in all its forms starts with someone being willing to be vulnerable first. You're ready for this, even if you don't feel ready. You're prepared, even if you feel unprepared. Trust yourself, trust the process, trust that the divine has brought you to this moment because it's time, because you're capable, because something important is trying to emerge into reality through this exchange of authentic truth. If this message has touched your heart, if you feel the truth of what's been shared resonating in your bones, then I want you to show your appreciation by leaving your energy here. Give this video your love through a like, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what the universe has to reveal to you next, because there's so much more guidance coming your way. So many more messages that your soul needs to hear as you navigate this beautiful, complex journey of being human and being in relationship and being open to all the mystery and possibility that life offers when we're brave enough to say yes to authentic connection. And here's what I want you to know as you finish listening and prepare to step back into your day. There's another message waiting for you, another revelation that builds on everything you've heard here, something that will help you understand what comes after the question is asked, how to navigate the new territory that opens up when truth replaces uncertainty. That next message is ready for you right now. It's calling to your soul, inviting you to continue this journey of discovery and growth and spiritual expansion. Don't stop here. Don't leave the wisdom incomplete. Click on the next video that appears on your screen. Let the divine guidance continue flowing to you. Let yourself receive all the support and clarity and direction that the universe is trying to give you in this important moment of your life. Your angels are with you. Your path is blessed, and everything is unfolding in perfect divine timing. Trust, believe, and most of all, be courageously honest with yourself and others. That's where the real magic lives.